Alright folks, it's that time again, another YouTube video. This should be hopefully a quick one regarding the ELC Even 90, excuse me. So let's get through this pretty quick because I know not everybody has all that time. 3 crew members, you have a commander, a gunner, a driver. This fits pretty in line with the tracked French light tanks. The ELC Even 90 is complicated. Either you love it or you hate it. I think it's okay. Personally, I love it. I'm not very good in it, but I do love it. You can pick it up for the low price today. Make sure you guys accept your missions for a quick sidestep. Make sure when you go to look at this, you don't actually click purchase right away, because there's no, like, are you sure about this? It just instantly purchases it. I did that last night, and it was a mistake. So, I'll just come out and say it. For 6,500 gold, I do personally believe it is a worthwhile purchase. That said, let's look at the context of that kind of statement. If you're a new player, I wouldn't recommend this. If you're at least kind of experienced and you're starting to go up the British light tank line, I would consider going for it, because it's just so kind of fun, and I feel like it really forces you to learn certain mechanics that are very important for all light tanks, whether it be camo, whether it be, what you can get away with, what kind of bushes work, just basic mechanics, and even some more advanced mechanics, specifically regarding positioning. I do recommend this tank for 6,500 gold. That said, if you're looking for something, more your style, like a heavy tank or a medium, this is not going to fill that role. Absolutely not. Alright, let's head back in the garage and we'll give this a look-see. Okay, so let's start with the gun. The gun is the least important thing about this vehicle, with 1200 DPM, yes, 1200 at tier 8, 220 alpha on a 90mm gun with 3 shots, 175 pen on the AP, 215 on premium, which is APCR in this case, and 45 pen HE. The HE is not actually the worst thing in the world, it's just not good. I don't even load any. I just load 24 AP, 21 APCR, so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter. Like, 9 degrees of gun compression is fine. It's good, but you're already so short. Like, look at this even compared to the 1390. You could fit an even 90 in, like, the front 1/3 of a 1390. It's very, very small. You don't really need to worry about the gun depression or gun elevation, to be honest. With a 2.5 second aim time with 0.33 dispersion, the gun is not great, but you can definitely pen a shot if you need to. If you absolutely need to, the gun shouldn't let you down that much. But if you try and rush it, if you try and force anything, it will not be too thrilled. With 900 hit points, 15 frontal armor on the turret and hull, 10 on the side and rear, you're not going to be bouncing shots in this. You'll get shots that go, like, under the tracks here, under the hull, into the tracks, and do no damage, but if they hit you with HE for the most part, you're going to get penned. Whether it be, anywhere on the front, anywhere on the side, anywhere in the rear, like, it's just, you're going to be in trouble. With a top speed of 70 and a reverse speed of 20, you can move pretty quick in this. You can sort of get around and get to some sneaky positions pretty reliably for the most part. 70 is no slouch at tier 8. With a 23, and a third specific power, that's not bad. On this, now we're getting to arguably the most important stuff on the ELC Even 90 stat sheet, being the mobility, the concealment, and the view range. So, on this vehicle, you have a base view range of 380. That's not very great. That's arguably quite poor, to be honest with you. However, this gets pretty heavily changed when you do certain ridiculous things, such as myself. So with 48.6% camo, that includes food, camo directive, 3 crew members with a full camo skill, you can basically use thin air as concealment. Between this tank being so small and the camo being so high, it's kind of silly. With 380 meters view range being quite low, I actually use ventilation, I use optics, and binoculars. Now, you could use a camo net if you wanted to, if you had a better crew than me, for example, but even when I switched to camo net, I have 465 view range, still over the cap of 445. However, my camo goes up to 58 while stationary, which is kind of ridiculous. I'd much rather have, for me, over 500 meters view range, almost 530, just to better cut through camo. Because this tank is so small, and you already have such amazing camo, you can kind of get up into kind of aggressive positions if you're feeling confident, and outspot things that are just sitting in bushes because your view range is so high. That pretty much covers the vehicle for the most part, I think. Man, we're getting through this pretty quick. If you guys have any other questions regarding this vehicle, specifically whether, I don't know, whatever questions you have, I'll be happy to try and answer it. Personally, for me, this tank does need a good crew. Now that I'm thinking about other questions, this tank does need a pretty good crew to be very efficient. This 1390 crew is quite weak, only 3 skills. That's traditional with light tanks. You kind of do need just a better crew than you would say a heavy tank. With this, you need camo, brothers in arms for the most part, sixth sense, so on and so forth. That really just kind of elevates it to the next level, makes it that little bit more capable, and especially in a tank like this, you need to be as capable, as effective as you possibly can be. That's really where you're going to find success. So I personally use my EBR 105 crew, which you'll see that's why I have particularly bad view range without binoculars, because I don't have situational awareness. I just have recon. Because in the EBR 105, you can see that has a radio operator, which has situational awareness. So it makes no sense for me using this crew to, retrain it again on the commander. That said, I believe that this style, the tracked light tanks, the Even 90, the 1390, so on and so forth, keep this level of not level, but this setup of crew members. So a commander, a gunner, a driver. Let's just check to make it completely sure for you guys. We go here. We should see. Yes, same thing. So this will really benefit in crew training your tracked French light tanks, not so much the wheeled. That said, I have a good enough crew in this case that I can afford to use that and kind of take the loss of no sixth sense. That should pretty much wrap up 7 minutes. That's actually a lot of time. That should pretty much wrap up the garage portion. Let's continue with our normal review stuff now and grab a live game in the 1390, the ELC Even 90, and we'll see what you guys think about it. Okay, this is almost as bad as it can get. Arguably, this is as bad as it can get, depending on how you feel about maps. Good for 12:13 p.m. map rotation. Good. Alright, so there's no artillery. There are plenty of tank destroyers, 5 of them, a third of the team. I've got some heavies, some mediums, and 1 enemy light tank, which is an LTTB. The LTTB, if he wanted to YOLO window us, would be a problem. We'd be in a lot of trouble. Just because we take so long to reload with a almost basically 27-second reload. That is no slouch. You will feel that. Absolutely. Because we're fighting tier 9s, I want to preload APCR for this first clip, and then I'll load AP as a secondary. I just want to make sure, at the start of the game, if I need to pen a shot, I have it. That's pretty much all. So we're going to go to one of the default bushes I take, which is right up over here. It can be... We might be able to push even further, actually. We are an Even 90, so we got to get away with, or we can get away with some sillier stuff. I'll try playing right in here, maybe to counter light their light tank or something, but this isn't necessarily too great of a spot, in my opinion. Maybe that bush would have been better. I'll level with you guys. This is where, and I guess this is or can be a semi-teachable moment. This tends to be where the Even 90 becomes lackluster. It's very... oh god, even rephrase that. This is where, as a player, the Even 90 becomes lackluster, because I don't particularly know light tanks to such a, kind of confident degree where I know, oh, I'm going to go to this bush because it spots this position. I just don't play enough light tanks. I just don't play enough. This is very much me failing the Even 90 and not the Even 90 failing me. So we pushed up quite far and didn't get spotted. That kind of worries me because I don't know what could be back there in the double bush. which could end up giving us some trouble. There's 3 on the cap. We know where a lot of the team is, but we also don't know where a lot of their team is. I'm going to sit right in here and let my binoculars activate and try and cut through some camo if anyone's here. But we have a lot of support, so I guess we can push now. Yeah, everyone's lit. Okay. They all went city. This is pretty rare for Ensk, just because people tend to, they see enemy front and want to go fight that. Let's try and get some side shots here. This is not good, though. They're actually about to cap us, I think. There's that gun. Another shot right in the fuel tank. Get nice fire. And we finish the kill. So we take 1 hit from the E50 for 384. That's about it. Nobody's going to go stop the cap, it looks like. I guess we're going to play another game. Ooh, are we? I don't know now. This could be good or bad. I'm not entirely confident yet. I'm going to try and make a push here to try and get up in this corner. I know the T-85 is in front of me, but we got to make something here because if they take cap, we're in trouble. They're not going to, though. There's 1 shot. There's 2. We back up. And we have the rear of the T-95, which is pretty juicy. I'm going to go for here for a tracking shot and damaging. Just to keep him tracked again. Let's reload. This was looking quite close. There we got a nice tracking assist damage there. We're on quite low HP, so we have to play a little more passive than I would like. We reloaded in about 12 seconds. This is where you can really see the lack of, I suppose, reload can be quite frustrating. We weren't even lit right here by that guy. I got lit because I backed up so far. Let's try and squeeze another shot out here and see what we can do. We might be able to get 1, but I wouldn't be too confident about it. I might be able to grab the... Nope. I was going to say the T-32, but I guess not. And that's the game. That was quite quick. A 13 to probably 4 or 5, depending on if I YOLO here. I'm just going to try and get in there and get damage or flip my tank because this is over. I'm hoping they don't kill if... No, he's going to ram him. Fuck. Christmas. I mean, I'm okay with this. You know, it's quite a small map with relatively fast action, and the ELC Even 90 doesn't necessarily enjoy fast action, particularly regarding if you're not the one doing the spotting, so on and so forth. That hurt our mark of excellence quite badly. Jesus. We crushed the enemy team. This was, you know... This is why I like doing the live reviews, because it gives you a very real sense of what the tank plays like. You know, as a whole, do I like it? Yes. Do I think it's worth it at 6,500 gold? Absolutely yes. If you're a new player, you don't necessarily understand light tanks, you don't necessarily understand view range mechanics, camo mechanics, positions on the map that are most effective, such as myself. That's particularly where I lack in player skill. This could be bothersome, absolutely. But if you really feel that, like, you know, you are confident in your map knowledge, your mechanical knowledge, you can run rings around the enemy team. Put this in a platoon with, you know, Scorpion Gs, SU-130 PMs, even something with bigger damage like an ISU-152 if they feel confident hitting shots, any sort of sniper tanks. You can rack up insane scouting, because it often gets joked you can hide this tank behind a couple blades of grass. It's part joke and part real. It's quite comical the kind of bushes you can use in a tank like this and the positions you can use that are so far removed from even a tank like the 1390, the EBR-105, the 1357, the ELC. It's just you have so much more opportunity and freedom as a light tank player. But that's going to make up the game, I suppose, gameplay portion of this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any criticism, questions, concerns, please leave them in the comments, or you can join our Discord if you're into that, or the stream. I don't care. If you have any you know, ways I can make this content better, I genuinely would love to hear it. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you, and good luck out there. I know it's getting tough with the marathon going and the holiday season, but, you know, best of luck, and hopefully it goes well for you. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.